All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom, Yasha Allah. This is Brother Yahweh Nah with the Flame and Fire Israel. We're coming back at you with another Sabbath class through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. I want to start off first and foremost giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Wamalak Yahweh Shah. All right, Barakatham. Shalom once again to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. And today I'm going to be doing a well-due lesson. I should have been done a complete Deuteronomy 28 breakdown, but today we're going to be full. We do it at camp all the time, but to my surprise, a brother hit me up on to do a Deuteronomy 28, wanted me to do a Deuteronomy 28 breakdown. To my surprise, we've never did one before, it surprised me because we usually, we do street teachings on it all the time. But now I see that I've never did a full Deuteronomy 28 breakdown. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that in the butt right now. So let's go and break down Deuteronomy 28 chapter completely and thoroughly, precept upon precept, line upon line here a little and there a little, through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. All right. Let me turn this down a little bit. All right, so we're gonna start at Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. All right, we're gonna go all the way to 68. All right, so come on. We start Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. All right. So in the beginning of Deuteronomy 28 chapters, you got the blessings, and at verse 15, it shows you the curses after that. So we're gonna go to it. All right, and it shall come to pass. All right, we have Deuteronomy 28:1. All right, and it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. Right. So we hearken diligently into the wisdom of the Most High, to his commandments, to his statutes. We would have been always above all the nations on the earth. All right. Would have always been on the top. All right. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Right, and the Lord tells us this all the time. Let me get Psalms chapter 81. All right. If Israel would have just hearkened unto the Lord, man, none of this would have happened. All right, shalom, Brother Levon. Let's go to Psalms chapter 81 and verse 10. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. Right? If you open your mouth to get this knowledge, the Most High will fill it. Right? But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up to their own hearts, lusts, and they walked in their own counsels. This is verse 13. It's the key. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. Oh, that we just would have walked in the Lord's ways and did the things pleasing unto the Lord and kept his commandments, we would have got all these blessings. All right. But instead we got curses. All right. I should soon have subdued their enemies and turned my hand against their adversaries. Right. The Most High could have turned it just like that if we would have hearkened unto him. Verse 15, the haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever. Right. We would have got these blessings in Deuteronomy 28. And 1 through 14. All right. But verse 16, he should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with the honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee. Right. We would have been filled with that knowledge and understanding and wisdom. Right. Going back to Deuteronomy 28 chapter, when the Lord said in verse 1, and it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So all these blessings would have came on us. All right. If we would have listened to these commandments, these statutes. All right. So God, verse 3, Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. You see how people, all hell breaking loose right now, all the hell we go through in the cities, in the fields, in the country, and all the things we went through as a people. We would have been blessed, all right, wherever we went. All right. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy Betty, and the fruit of thy ground. Right. So look, blessed shall we be the fruit of our ground, and the fruit of our Betty. All right. So and the fruit of thy cattle, and the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Right, we would have been profitable, man, prominent. All right, let me get a precept for that in Matthew the 19th chapter. Bear with me. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 29. Shalom, shalom, brother Hezekiah. All right. This is Matthew chapter 19 and verse 29. And it says, and everyone that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and last shall be first. Going back to Deuteronomy 28:4, how we would just be blessed in everything. All right, and our cattle, and our increase of our kind, the flocks of our sheep. All right, we'll be having the kingdom. All right, verse 5. So look, you read the blessings, then we're gonna go into the curses. All right. So come. Verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. But look, you know, our stores are the things we bought, that all our commerce, it will be blessed. All right. You would have, imagine if all Israelites it was just all Israelite businesses. All right. Not just black businesses, but people that kept the commandments businesses, man. All right. People that did the will of the Father's businesses. You ain't got to worry about getting judged. All right. You ain't got to worry about getting, you know, them overtaxing you. Why? Because they love their brothers. Why? Because they do all these things. We would have been blessed if we would have listened to these commandments, man. We wouldn't have to worry about going to a damn Gucci store and paying $800 for a damn t-shirt like this. All right. All right. Just got a G on it. And Jacob, look, they'll get judged because they simple, man. All right. So look, we would have been blessed in our basket and in our store. Verse 6. Blessed shall thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shall thou be when thou goest out. Right, wherever we go, we would have been blessed if we would have listened to these commandments, if we would have done righteously. Right? We would have been blessed wherever we went. Verse 7. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. Right? If anyone would have ever rose up against us, if we kept the commandments, they would have been smitten before our face, man. They would have been destroyed. All right? They would have never stood a chance. All right? When people fail to realize the white man, these other nations just wasn't, they just weren't so mighty and great that they could bring us such a great nation down, man. The Most High allowed these nations to bring us down. We're going to get into those precepts too. All right? I'm going to bring that up mostly out in the curses. All right? So, the Most High allowed these nations to take us down. All right? I'm going to read verse 7 again. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. Right? If anyone ever tried to come up against us, man, they would just be fleeing, man. All right? Because the Lord would have been with us, man. You read about David and Psalm. You read about mighty men of the Lord, how these look, they stood no chance, man. Elijah, all right? The armies of the Lord was with him, man. All right, there's nothing you can do if the Lord is with you, man. All right, verse 8. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Right? Anything we done would have been blessed because the Most High was doing it with us because we was keeping his commandment. All right, verse 9. The Lord shall establish thee, Salakia. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he have sworn unto thee. Right? He sworn that into us in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And even before that. All right. The Lord shall establish thee a holy people unto himself, as he have sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God and walk in his ways. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and that they shall be afraid of thee. Right? You think people are afraid of us now? All right. The exact opposite happened, man. All right. People think we the bottom of the totem pole, man. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they think you the worst, the bottom, the scum of the earth. All right. Showing you how these blessings and curses, man, the Most High, he moved it whatsoever way he will. All right. Verse where was that? 10. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, and in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers to give thee. We would have been in Israel, who would have had all our, look, everything we would have had was plenteous, man. We would have had many goods. We would have been having the best fruits, the best, everything would have been plenteous in harvest, man. All right. And all the things we would have had just would have been, it wouldn't have been enough to give up everyone, man. All right. That's how plenteous the Lord would have made it. Right. And this is going to eventually come to us when we get the kingdom. All right. But this, we had to go through the curses first because we didn't listen. All right. Verse 12. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give thee the rain unto thy land in its season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. Right? We wouldn't be having no droughts. And you know how Esau in America, how, you know, they have droughts, and, you know, they have them locusts come and eat up all their plants, and, you know, they got to try to find somewhere to, you know, they got to build a building where, you know, and have their own little modified plants to deal with. We wouldn't have to do that. All right. Because the Lord will be dealing with us, man. All right. We're going to read verse 12 again. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. You know how we will be lending to nations. Nations will be coming to us for things, man. Imagine nations coming to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans for things. All right, for goods. All right. But the exact opposite is now we don't have nothing, and we ask everything from the so-called white man. We ask everything from the so-called Chinese man. We ask everything from all these other nations because we're not built up in you know, in an enterprise ourselves, man. All right. So verse 13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail. Like we the tail now, man. We at the bottom. All right. The Most High would have made us the head. All right. If we would have kept those commandments. All right. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. We would only be above. We would never been beneath. We would have never been lowly. Our people wouldn't be in the ghettos, the scums, and hated. And look, they would be fearing us, man. Like they fear the Lord, like they fear Yahweh Shah. That's how they would fear the Israelites. All right. If we kept the commandments. All right. And thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. So the Lord told us you can't do anything out of these commandments. All right. These are the commandments of life. All right. So now we're finna get into the curses. And, you know, I'm going to bring out a lot more precepts with the curses. But these blessings we're going to get, we would have been blessed among your imagination, like the kingdom's going to be, man. All right. We would have never went into captivity if we hearkened unto the voice of the Lord. But it's the Lord's will, too, at the same time. All right. This is the way the Lord made it come out. All right. So verse 15, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments in his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So if we didn't listen to these commandments and these statutes, that all these curses shall come upon us and overtake us. All right. And this is why you see the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in the conditions that they are today, man. All right. Because they didn't listen to the words of the Lord. All right. They didn't hearken into what the Lord told them. Let me get a precept with that. And we're finna go into the curses, but I want to bring out precepts. Let me get Baruch chapter 1 and verse 18. And it reads, Baruch chapter 1 and verse 18, and it reads, well, actually, we'll start at 17. For we have sinned before the Lord. What is sin? And breaking the law? 1 John 4:3. And disobeyed him, and have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our God. What did the Lord say? What happened to us if we didn't hearken to the voice of the Lord our God? That we would be cursed, right? To walk in his commandments that he gave us openly. The Lord gave us openly the way in which we should walk, the way of righteousness to walk in, man, right? Verse 19, since the day that the Lord brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt until this present day, we have been disobedient unto the Lord our God, and we have been negligent in not hearing his voice. Wherefore the evils cleaved unto us. Why you think we go through as hell like this? Why you think we get shot down in the streets, murdered and killed, and raped, and nobody cares about us? It's because these evils have cleaved onto us because we didn't hearken into the voice of the Lord our God. All right. I'm gonna read that verse 20. Wherefore the evils cleave unto us, and the curse which the Lord appointed by Moses his servant at the time that he brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt to give us a land that floweth with milk and honey, like as it is to see this day. So this is the same curse that we're talking about in Deuteronomy 28 and 15. All right. Moses told us what was going to happen to us. Well, the Lord told us through Moses what was going to happen to the Israelites if we didn't listen to these commandments. That's why these evils have cleaved unto us, man. All right. The Lord was a man of his word. He promised it would happen. All right. Verse 21. Nevertheless, even though we going through all this hell, even though we doing all these things and we never get a break, you still got a rebellious people that won't understand these commandments, that won't try to keep these commandments. And this, a lot of them is, like I said, the Lord is Lot. The Lord has Lot, man, that's not going to understand it. We brought that out last night at camp. All right. Nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our God, according unto all the words of the prophets, whom he sent unto us. But every man followed the imagination of his own wicked heart, his own wicked mind, right? To serve strange gods and to do evil in the sight of the Lord our God. So look, this is what state we in, because look, obviously we didn't listen. Obviously we didn't get these blessings, man. All right, look around. All right, we didn't get it. We didn't listen. We didn't make the cut. All right, so now we got to catch it this time around, man. All right. Let me get a couple precepts. Get Daniel chapter 9 verse 11. This all goes with us going through hell, our curses that we're gonna go through. Daniel chapter 9 verse 11. Well, actually, I'm gonna start at verse 10. Actually, Salakia, we'll start at verse 8. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. To the Lord our God belong mercies and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him. So the Most High has mercy on the Israelites. He has mercy on us, though we have rebelled against him, man. All right. To the Lord our God, Salakia. To the Lord our God belong of mercies and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his ways, which he have set before us by his servants the prophets. Verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey the voice. Therefore the curse that we read in Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him, right? And he have confirmed his words. The Most High confirmed his words, man. And you got simple jakes now that will be looking around, man. If we chosen, man, why we at the bottom of the why we at the bottom of everything, man? Why we ain't got nothing, man? Why we don't, you got jakes that come up like that at camp all the time, man. You brothers stupid, man, telling people that we curse, man. We can't never get up if you keep telling people we curse, right? You got people that say that, man. But the Lord said in verse 12, he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, man. The Lord confirmed his words in Deuteronomy 28:15. You thought the Lord's word was a game? You thought he was playing when he said, if you don't listen, you're gonna be cursed in Deuteronomy 28:15. All right? So that's the power we serve. Someone is a man of his, he's a man of his word, man. All right? Verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he hath spake against us, right? And against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. All right? So the Lord has brought upon us this great evil. Our people are destroyed and mad and on drugs and gone and destroyed. We're going to get all into that in these curses. All right? For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. Right? So look, under the whole heaven has not been done, it's been done unto us, man. All right? That's our great evil was so great. No one's ever went through hell like us, man. So that kills all these people that try to say, well, you know, white people went into slavery too. These other nations went into slavery too. All right, they didn't have nothing compared to hell that we've been through, man. The captivity after captivity. All right, the destruction after destruction that we've been up to, man. All right. So come on. I'm gonna get another precept too, but I want to get back to Deuteronomy 28. But it's a lot of precepts that pop up with this. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 23. I get to the point where, you know, you got a lot of people to be like, oh, well, God loved us so much. Why are these people over us? You know, why are these other nations over us? And they don't understand the scriptures. They don't read the Bible. All right, let's get Ezekiel 39 and 23. All right, all this goes with Deuteronomy 28:15. All right, all these precepts go hand in hand. All right. This is Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 23. And it says, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. These heathen could have never took us down if the Most High was with us, man. All right. We went into captivity because of our iniquity, because of our sins and how we disobeyed the laws of God. Like he told us, like we're going to continue to read Deuteronomy 28 chapter. All right. Because they trespassed against me. Therefore, hid I my face from them and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. Right? So look, why do you think we read in Psalms the 83rd chapter, these nations took crafty counsels against us? They was allowed to do crafty counsel against us, man. The Most High allowed that to take place, man, because we didn't listen to the words of the Lord, man. All right, and we trespassed against him. All right, and he hid his face from us, man. Why you think our people went so long without knowing who they were? Didn't understand their knowledge. All right, now the Most High is dealing with us a little bit now, man. All right, so you got to understand that, man. The Most High hid his face from us. He turned his back on us, man. All right, because we didn't want to listen to him, man. Just like that father, because the Most High is our father. Just like that father, after you tell him and you know your father, you talking to your child, you don't told your child time and time again. Look, son, don't do this, son. Son, please don't ever do this, son. Don't ever break what I'm finna tell you. Don't break these words. Please don't break these words. It's horrible things that's gonna happen to you. All right? It's horrible things that you can't imagine is gonna happen to you. Please don't break these words that I'm telling you. And then the son take all the things he heard and then go off and do whatever the hell he wants to and break his words. What is that dad? Is the dad gonna be like, hey man, what's up, man? Come back. No, the dad gonna be like, man, I'm not dealing with you right now. All right. He gonna turn his back on him, man. All right. And it's the same way the Most High turned his back on us, man. He hid his face from us, man. We didn't have no knowledge, no understanding. We didn't know who we were. All right. So Khan, I'm gonna get another precept. We gotta get back to Deuteronomy 28. It's just so many precepts that go with this, man. Let's get Judith in the Apocrypha, chapter 8 and verse 27. All right. Judith chapter 8, verse 27. All right. And it reads, for he have not tried us in the fire as he did them, for the examination of their hearts. Neither have he taken vengeance on us, but the Lord doeth scourge them that come near unto him to admonish them. All right. So the Lord put us through hell for us to get right, man. All right. And the Most High scourges people and corrects them, just like that father, he gonna turn his back on his son, but eventually he gonna come back and deal with his son, man. He just want his son to feel what it feels like being out there by himself, man. What it feels like to lose your power. All right. So Khan, I'm gonna get one more precept. All right. Well, actually, I'm gonna go back to Deuteronomy 28 because I'll be bringing out precepts all day. All right. Let's get Deuteronomy. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. All right. We're gonna keep bringing out precepts, but they're gonna be in between and in between. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. We're gonna read it again. All right. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, then all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So what do we see? We have a blessing and we had a curse. Now we get into the curses. All right. What are the curses that's going to be upon us if we didn't listen to these laws? And obviously we didn't listen to them. All right. Verse 15. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. We're going to be cursed in the city. We're going to be cursed in the field. We're going to be cursed everywhere we want to. We're going to be walking around. We're going to be called niggas and spit on and hit and killed and murdered and raped and destroyed as a people, man. All right. Cursed shall thou be in the basket of thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land and the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Right? We wouldn't even increase it like we used to, man. All right. Because the Lord was going to curse all of us, man. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. No matter where we go, no matter what we do, we was gonna be a cursed people, man. And this is what you see today. All right, a cursed people, a people void of understanding, a people that forgot the Lord their God. All right. Verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me, man. Right? So we're gonna have a vexation spirit. You vexed in his land, man. You vexed it. It's all hell breaking loose. It's always something, man. All right. You want to keep the Sabbath day, but you over there, you can't even keep the Sabbath day because your job got you working an extra day. They just came out of nowhere. You don't work today, you fired, man. All right. That's vexation, man, that you can't do the things pleasing unto the Lord. And the Lord told you this would happen, man. All right. Vexation is you always got things going on. You always got something. It's always something we're going to go through, man, because we didn't listen to these commandments. And all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, right? And until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me, right? Verse 21, the Lord shall make thee pestilences, so like it, the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it, right? So we was off Israel. We weren't living in Israel no more, man. All right? We lost our land, man. We went into captivity, man. All right, you read about that in Matthew, man. All right, after the siege, okay, 70 AD, and even further after 70 AD, still all of us were. You still had some people that was in Jerusalem. All right, so so we fled into Western Africa, and we're gonna get into that too. All right, verse 22: the Lord shall smite thee with a consumption. All right, listen to that. All right. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption. We're going to be consumed. And with a fever and with an inflammation. We just going to be sick. And you ever had an inflammation before, man? You ever had like something that's just inflamed and infected? And that's what we're going to be like, man. All right. It's always going to be something. All right. And if you got the carnal and the spiritual infection that we're going to have, man. All right. You got the people that actually got whipped on their backs that actually had infections, man. They actually felt this pain. They actually went through it. You got people that were just infected spiritually, man. All right? Inflamed spiritually. With an extreme burning and with a sword. That sound like a whip. All right? That sound like all the hell we was going to go through, man. All right? And with the blasting and with the mildew. And they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Verse 23, in the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron, man. It feels like we just in a damn this hellhole, man. All right. And that's what it should be feeling for you in this land, man. You shouldn't be rejoicing in this land, man. All right. You shouldn't be rejoicing in the state of your people is in, man. All right. I'm not saying you can't live life, but look, man, you gotta understand that you going through the curses, man. Are you going through this hell? All right. Verse 24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed, man. So look, man, the Lord is gonna make all hell break loose. We ain't gonna be able to really get fruits like that. We ain't gonna be able to do anything. We're not gonna be able to yield nothing for ourselves as a people. All right. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. You read in the other chapter that the enemies was going to be, anyone that came up with us, against us, was going to be fleeing from us. But look, what did the scripture say in verse 25? It says, the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Instead of the enemies being smitten in front of us, we're going to be smitten in front of our enemies, man. All right? Thou shalt go one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed unto all the kingdoms of the earth. Right? And that happened unto us, man. Verse 26, and thy carcass shall be meat unto the fowls of the air, man. You had these Edomites, you had these other nations that we would just be dead, and the fowls of the air would come clean us up, man. All right? They wouldn't come bury us. They wouldn't do none of that. We wouldn't do none of the things we did. All right? Because we couldn't. Because we was cursed. All right? And the carcass shall be meat unto the fowls of the air and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. The Lord shall smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the enemy, with the emeralds, right? And with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst be healed, man. So it's gonna feel like we got an itch, a scab that can't be healed all the time, man. All right. Just like when we was in Egypt, man, all hell was breaking loose. Imagine being in Egypt under that hot sun, and under all hell, and the Most High come and save you from that, man. All right, we're gonna be under the same thing, damn near, man. All right, and we talking about this is how we know this isn't talking about actual Egypt. All right, when we get down to verse 68, the Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, man. All right, it's gonna be just like Egypt. All right. So come on. Verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Why you see our people walking around? They all in madness, man. They all crazy as hell. They all don't know what's going on. You know, you can't even have a conversation with them. All right. Jake come up to you and mean mug you, want to kill you. All right. Our people, they mad and they blind. They can't see. All right. They have a spirit of slumber on them, man. All right, and astonishment of heart, man. Our people, they just destroyed, man. All right, because these curses that came upon us so seriously, so vigorously. And the Lord told us it would happen, man. All right. And thou shalt grope at noondays as the blind grope in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee, man. And that's what we still going through. We only oppressed her, man. And you got Jake to think they free, man. You got Jake to think they don't made it finally, man. All right. We only oppressed her, man. All right. As a people. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Right? These Edomites used to rape our wives, man. They used to go into our wives, man. All right. They used to rape our wives in front of us, man. All right. And what you got to understand, man, is that all this hell that we went through in these curses gonna come upon them too. And we're gonna get into that too. All right. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Right? You be building a nice fancy house for these damn devils, these Edomites. You'll build up a nice house, and them Edomites will take your tail back out there to the slave building, nigger. All right. That's what they would have tell you, man. All right. You'll build up a nice house, make that house all nice, and you put your hard work into it. They're like, all right, now get out my house, nigga. All right. Go over there to your little slave pallet over there that you got, man, with things falling apart and all hell breaking loose over there, man, with barely enough room for one family in it. All right. So Khan, thou shalt plant a vineyard and shall not gather the grapes thereof, man. You know how many plants we was planting, man? Cotton and all these plants that we was feeding everyone with, but we couldn't even get anything of it, man. They giving us scraps and they giving us pig guts, and you got simple. Our people still like that stuff, man. All right, that shows you how mad. You read verse 28, how the Lord smote us with madness and blindness, man. All right, our people still like that stuff. They still like damn chitlins, man. Smell like dookie and smell like crap. But our people that rather, that's how destroyed mentally our people are, man. All right. So we would be planting things and we wouldn't be able to yield the profit out of our plants, man. We wouldn't be able to yield the produce, man. We would have to give everything we got and hand it right there to damn master, man. Damn Edomite devil, man. All right. Verse 31. Thy ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them, man. All right. Look, all our animals, all the things we had is just we're not gonna have it anymore, man. All right. Nothing's gonna be ours, man. All right. So come, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. All right. And this is what happened, man. Our sons and our daughters was given unto another people. All right. And even when you read verse 31, that can be spiritual too. It says, thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them, man. The sheep is Israel, man. All right. On a spiritual level, man. These scriptures is twofold, some of them, man. All right. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Right? We would be separated as a family. Imagine coming into a room, these Edomites got you set up with your whole family. One take your daughter, one Edomite buy your daughter, one Edomite buy your brother, one Edomite buy your son, one Edomite buy your wife, and go into it right in front of you. All right? Imagine that happening, man. And you'll be longing for them all the day long. That's all you can think about, man. All right? But these are the curses, the strong curses that the Lord was going to put upon our people, man. You'll be somewhere on the other side of the country just thinking about your family. Think about how bad that would hurt a woman, man. All right? How bad a woman would just be thinking about their children all the day long, man. All right? And crying and weeping, man. All right? And they would have no might in their hand. They couldn't do anything about it. But you're going to fight against all them and y'all all going to die, man. All right? So that's the curses that the Lord put upon us, man. It wasn't any joke. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. Anything we got, anything, any value. Esau came and he said, give me that, man. That's the life we was living, man. And that's the life we still live. All right? You know, you think you don't live that life, but you still paying taxes to the white man. All right? You still working. You working a job and you making down $700. Let's say you make $500 a week or every 2 weeks. Let's say you make $500 every 2 weeks. You giving the government $200, man. All right? You got brothers that actually get money. They get paid about $1,000 every 2 weeks. All right? But they really get paid only they can be making like $1,500 before taxes, man. All right. Then the taxes come and all they left with is about $800, $900. All right. You could be really making like $800, $700. And look, it's all of it's taken away the taxes, you making $400. The white man's still taking from you, man. He's still coming and getting his, man. We still curse, man. All right. Why the hell are you paying taxes? Just like the Romans was paying, just like we was paying taxes to the Romans, man. But they can't see that they under captivity, man. Man, that's old stuff, man. That's all over, man. We ain't nothing them changed no more, man. Stop talking about that slavery, man. We can get together as a people, man. We can be something. But they don't know what the hell they talking about. All right. So come on. Verse 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. We be always crushed. Anything we done, anything we got, we would never have anything for ourselves. And it's the same way now. You think you got anything for yourself, Jake? These damn devils can come and take all your stuff at any point in time. You can't do nothing about it. All right? They can come and take your stuff, build up some false paperwork on your toe, and they don't want to hear nothing you got to say, man. They come in and can take everything you got. All right? But you still think in your head that you got things, man. All right? And that goes back to that madness that our people got. All right, verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see, man. And that's what we should be saying. That's what we should be mad every day, man. All right? We should be mad at the state of our people. We should be mad that they still got the mind of bondage, man. We should be mad when we look at our people and they going to and fro and they don't know where the hell they going and they off drugs and, you know, they come up to you asking you for money. They asking a white man everywhere for money when they the kings of the earth, man. All right? You should feel sad for the sight of your people, man. All right? Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. That's a precept with that too. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Right? So oppression makes a wise man mad, man. All right? Oppression gonna make you mad, man. You should be mad at this oppression, man. All right? You should, you know, you should not just be having fun and at the end of the day saying you an Israelite, man. All right? You should be in the house of, the Lord says it's wise to be in the house of mourning right now, man. All right? You rightfully so should be in the house of mourning. All right? Not saying, like I said, you know, you gotta have a balance. Don't have a false balance. All right, you gotta take care of your family, do things pleasing unto the Lord now. But you know, you should be, you know, mad at the state of your people is in right now, man. All right. So come on, verse 35. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, with the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Right, we're just gonna be going through all type of pain, man. Physically and mentally and spiritually, man. All right. So Con, let me get verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone, man. So we're gonna go to another nation, we're gonna serve other gods, man. Wood being Christianity. All right, and stone being Islam, and they make the pilgrimage to Mecca. All right, they go and serve stones, man. The two major religions in society, man. All right, when that was never what your fathers done. All right, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword. African American, Hispanic, Native Americans, niggas, Negroes, Afro American, colored. All right, spick, all the things that they call us, man. All right. You're not gonna be called the kings of the earth. You're not gonna be feared like you read in Deuteronomy 28:15. No, you're gonna be a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee, man. No matter where you go, you're gonna be a proverb and a byword. I want to get a precept of that. Let me get Isaiah. Get 65. It's Isaiah chapter 65 and 15. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Lord God shall slay thee and call his servants by other names, man. So you're going to be called other names, man. All right? You're not going to be called the Israelites anymore, man. You're going to completely forget who you were. All right? You can forget all the things the Most High did for you, man. All right? So that's these curses. Verse 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather out little and shall gather but little in. You will carry much out to the field, man. Think about all the plants and all the things we would be, all the working that we'd be doing all the day. But look, they'll give us the scraps, man. All right, they give us one little bit of it. All right, but we did all the work for it. All right, and on the plantations. And shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume. All right, let's talk about actual locusts, and let's talking about these damn devils gonna consume everything that you got. All right, they're gonna be there waiting on anything that you get. All right, you know how locusts work, man. Anything you have, he want it. Any little grain of grass, any little smallest thing, he gonna eat it up. All right, he want it. He don't care. All right, he can have his belly full. I think a locust eats 3 to 4 times as much as his body weight or something like that, man. It's just gluttonous, man. Because the Most High put that spirit on them to be like that. All right. So Con, thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes. for the worms shall eat them. The worms. Most I call these Edomites, these other nations, worms and locusts, man. Anything you getting all the grapes, you planting all the grapes, you watch the grape grow all the way go up to these glorious grapes. All right, then the white man come and take them. Give me all these grapes. All right, take all the grapes. They drinking the wine you worked on. All right, you the one that for months watched it and planted it, watched it grow up into a beautiful plant, and then boom, the white man come take me that. Give me those grapes, and I'm gonna make my own wine of it, and you're not gonna drink of it, Negro. You're not gonna get any of this, cause you're a nigga. All right, that's what the hell we went through, man. All right, the Hispanics went through all this hell too. On the other side, the Native Americans went through all this hell too. All right, believe it or not, they went through this before us, man. All right, they went through this before us. The Spanish conquistadors came over there doing that way before we had it, man. Knowing that we did all God's chosen people. All right. Verse 40, thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thy olive shall cast its fruit. Right, we're not even going to be able to get olive oil. We're not going to be able to do anything we want to do, man. Roughly paraphrasing. Verse 41, thou shalt begot sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them. Right, so you're going to have sons and daughters, but you're not even going to enjoy having a son. You're not even going to enjoy having a daughter because, boom, they're going to be taken and took it to a plantation, man. Or they going to get beat up and raped, and they're going to go through all these things. All right? So you're not even going to be able to enjoy fatherhood. You're not even going to be able to enjoy motherhood. All right? And all thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up very high, and thou shalt come down very low. All right? Unlike we was just reading earlier, how we was going to be on high on the blessing side, in the beginning of Deuteronomy 28, how we was going to be on very high, and all the nations going to be under us. Now we going to be very low, and they going to be above us, man. All right, let me get a precept for that. In Ecclesiastes. Slack it. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 17. That's what I want. No, not 17. 7, Con. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. Right? So the servants were upon horses, man. They were supposed to be the servants. We read that in Deuteronomy 28. They were supposed to serve you. They were supposed to come to you for everything. All right? But now they above you. Now horses just mean rulership, or they're more in a power position than you are, man. All right? And princes, all right, walking as servants upon the earth. And we was princes, we the children of the Most High, and we walk in the service upon the earth, helping these devils that have always been reputed as nothing. Right? You read that in 2 Ezra 6 and 54. All right? And they have reigned over us because of the curses, man. All right? So, let me get another precept on that. Bear with me. Salakia. Salakia, I think I'm bear with me. Now I had a precept I was gonna give, but I think I'm gonna wait on it. All right. So we'll go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 44. Right? He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. Right? So they're gonna be lending unto us, unlike we read in Deuteronomy 28th chapter that we would be lending to them. All right, they would be coming to us for things, man. All right. Verse 12, it says, at the end of it, it says, thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. We're not going to be borrowing anything. We was going to be lending unto them, but now the complete opposite. These curses are, a lot of them are the complete opposite of what was going to happen to us in the blessings, man. All right. He shall be the head and thou shalt be the tail. And the Lord says we was going to be the head and all these other nations was going to be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. How do we know that we the Israelites? Because these curses are upon us as a sign to know who we are. All right. These curses are upon us as a people to show you our history. All right. It's a sign and a wonder, and upon our seed forever. All right. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, because we didn't want to serve the Most High. All right. Because we didn't want to serve the Lord our God. Right. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. If we want anything, we got to get it from the white man: food, water, clothing. All right. And in want of all things, he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And they shall put a yoke of iron upon our neck until we were completely destroyed, man. All right. So, I'm gonna get a couple precepts with that. Let's get I believe as a precept in Jeremiah. All right, bear with me. I think it's a precept in Jeremiah. I'm gonna get there later. Okay, I'm gonna just keep reading. I got some precepts I want to bring out, but I'm gonna finish this couple of verses first. It says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Right, so it's gonna be a nation as swift as the eagle flieth, man. Now the eagle we know represents. Let's bring it up on the screen here. All right. Let's bring up the eagle. Let me get this. All right, I'm gonna bring it up. All right, so these are the eagles we was talking about. All right, so you got America. All right, they got the eagle right here. You got Edom. Their symbol was the eagle, like we read. These are all Edomites. Rome, their symbol was the eagle. All right, and Nazis, their symbol is the eagle. All right, these are all eagles. Okay, so how do you know what nation of people this is, man? It's about there's a spiritual thing behind that eagle, man. You look at the American dollar, it's the eagle right there. All right, and not fooling you, and not telling you lies. It's right there in front of your face unless you can't see it. All right, so so let's get back to the point where I wanted to get on the eagle. So precept 2 I want to give with that. It's Obadiah chapter 1 verse 4. Let's get it. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 4 on that eagle. I'll thoroughly break that down. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 4, and it reads, we'll start at 3. We'll start at 2. Well, actually, we started 1. Okay. The vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord God concerning Edom. Talk about the Edomites. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised, right? The Edomites are greatly despised among all these other nations. All right. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, right? An eagle sits up high, man. They dwell in the clefts of the rocks. All right. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? They say in their heart, who shall bring them down to the ground? Because they sit high up in rulership. You know, they think nothing ever is going to happen to them. All right. Because that goes into them exalting themselves. All right. Verse 4 is going to explain it. Though thou exalt thyself as the equal, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Right. So they think they high up. You know, they think they have rulership. You know, the Lord's going to bring them down, man. All right, the Lord is going to bring them down. Okay, so so that's a lot of times where they symbols the equal. They think they, you know, they want to be like the Most High. Esau, you know, they put themselves as the Most High. All right, they want to be like the Most High. Let me get another precept with that equal verse. Let's get Lamentations chapter 4, verse 19, and it says, Our persecutors are swifter than eagles of the heaven. Right, so our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heavens. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness, man, because they're eagles, man. They lay wait on the Israelites, man. You read about that in Psalms, man, how they be waiting on the corners of the streets for us, man. How they wait on us, man. All right, things like eagles do. All right, so verse 49. Thou shalt bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Now, what's the tongue? All right, let's get Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 15. Explain that tongue. Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 15. And it reads, Lo, I will bring a nation upon thee from far, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, it is a mighty nation. It is an ancient nation. All right, Esau, man, that's an ancient nation. A nation whose language thou knowest not. All right, that tongue is a language. All right, neither understand what they say, because we didn't understand what they say. Why? Because we spoke Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew. All right, we didn't speak English. We didn't speak the languages that they spoke. All right, verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of thy old, nor show favor to the young. All right, so there was a nation of fierce countenance, man. Why you see the white man, everywhere they go, they destroy, man. Everywhere they go, they can't keep it home. You read about that in Habakkuk, the second chapter. Let's get that. Habakkuk, and we'll start at verse verse 5. Yea, also because he have transgressed by wine. That wine is what they you know, how they drunk and made the Israelites drunk, man, those different philosophies, all right, those different religions. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. They're proud. They're an eagle. They don't keep it home, man. All right. That's why the white man always wants to go everywhere and spread his democracy everywhere else. He can't just keep in America. All right. Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. Right. He can't ever be satisfied. He's always going to want more. He's the locust that we were just talking about. All right. He's that worm that always take every little thing we had. All right. He can't be satisfied. All right. But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. All right. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, right? So all the things that they increased, they got rich off of us sitting there getting them. This whole nation is built off slavery, the murdering of the Hispanics and Native Americans. All right, it could have been done if it wasn't for that. All right. So woe to him is the increase of that which is not his, man. They got us doing all the work, but and they didn't do anything, man. It wasn't his. How long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, man. All these nations is finna come against the Americans, the so-called white man, the Edomites, all right? All these nations finna come upon them. They tired of Esau. What we was just reading earlier in Obadiah, man, that all nations don't deal with them, man. They're despicable to them, man. All right? They can't stand them, man. All right? And woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Well, it's like that's where I was at. Verse 8, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's bloods, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Right? So, we could jump down to verse 12, and then I'm going to be done with that. We'll go back to Deuteronomy. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. Right? So, woe to him that built up the town with blood, man, and established a city by iniquity. And that's all they've done in America. They've built up their town with blood. You read about that in Numbers 35 and 33. They have to pay for what they have done. All right, this land cannot be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed it. Roughly paraphrasing, man. All right, wisdom. Let's get Nahum chapter 3, verse 1, then we're going to go back to Deuteronomy. Nahum chapter 3, verse 1, it says, woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery, that prey departeth not. Right? So, look, it is full of lies and robbery in this land, man. All right, the bloody city is America, man. All right, it's full of nothing but lies and robbery. All they did was take things that weren't theirs, man. All right. Cain built that nation up off of slavery and destruction of the Israelites. So where was we at? I believe it was verse 50. It says, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of thy old, nor show favor to the young. So Cain. I want to get a precept. One more precept with that. I might not get it. Hold on, let me see. Right, I'm not gonna get it. Okay, a nation of fierce countenance who should not regard the person of thy old, nor show favor to the young. Right, they didn't care if we was old, they didn't care if we was young. They would still murder us and kill us. You know, we got on the camp signs, you got Emmett Till, you got many kids they killed, babies they killed, because they was doing it back then, man. They was ripping us, it was ripping babies out of the stomach of the pregnant woman, and killing the woman and killing the baby, man, feeding the babies to alligators. All right, animals. All right. Verse 51, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep until you have destroyed thee, man. So we're not going to have any of these things, man. All right? And he's completely destroyed us mentally and spiritually, all right? And physically, all right? But the Lord allowed that to happen. Let's not ever get that twisted. Verse 52, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land which the Lord thy God hath given thee. Right? So they're going to just continue to, look, they're going to always do things to us, man. All right? They're going to be besieging us, and, they're going to be, we're never going to get any help in this land, man. All right? They're going to be besieging. That even happened in 70 AD, man. In Jerusalem, man. They besieged us, broke down our gates, broke down our walls, man, and they killed and murdered us. This Esau, man, Edomites. All right? And it's happening now, too. All right? Verse 53, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee in the siege, and in all the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. Right? So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, man. All right? Look, and we talking in verse 53, man, you got women that eat their children, man. Eat the fruit of thy own body, man. All right? When we say eat their children, they got abortions, man. They kill their children. All right? These are curses the Lord is going to put upon us. All right? Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children he shall leave. Right? So the man that used to be tender and loving back in Jerusalem, his eye is going to be evil toward his brother. All right? and toward his wife, and toward the remnant of his children. All right, which he gonna abandon his children. Tell me that's not the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, so that he would not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege, and in all the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee, and in all thy gates, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground. Right, we used to make sure the woman wasn't working. They didn't get into all these things. You know, they just took care of the house, took care of the Sabbath, took care of the kids, did the things pleasing unto the Lord. All right, but what is this curse going to be? For delicateness, right? For delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and towards her daughter, man. So you're going to have mothers is just the same way, man. And towards her young one that cometh out from between her foot. They're going to be killing their babies, man. All right? They're going to be mad at their young one that come out of their vagina, man. All right? They're going to be putting them to death, man. Which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for the want of all things secretly in the siege in straitness, or with thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. Verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of the law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name, the Yahweh thy power, right? Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed even great plagues, and of long continuance. Man, this has been lasting for a long time. We've been going through hell, man. All right, and sore sickness, and of long continuance, man. Our people have been sick for a long time, man. All right, and it's been a continuing long thing, man. Okay. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Even plagues is not even written is going to come upon us, man. All right. And ye shall be left few in number where ye are, as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. It said increasing, man. We're going to be few in number, man. All right. Why you think this so-called why you think we was little in the number until we started having children again, man? Started getting right, man. All right. Our people were small in number, man. All right. So come on. And the Lord shall scatter thee. So like y'all skip. Oh, we at verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Right, all the things we was afraid of in Egypt, he's gonna bring it back. All right. So showing you this isn't the land Egypt, what we're gonna be talking about in Deuteronomy 28:68. All right. So come on. Where I'm at. Come on, verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land where thou goest to possess it. We're going to be plucked off Jerusalem. The Most High going to have joy in destroying us, because he told us in Deuteronomy 28:15 what would happen. All right. And he's going to do it. And surely his word is going to come to pass. All right. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. We're going to be scattered. We're not going to be together. All right. From one end of the earth even to the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. You know that wood is Christianity, stone is Islam. So you got to understand, man, we're going to serve these other gods. All right. We're going to serve all these other things that's not of ourselves, man. And we're going to be scattered everywhere. You read that in James 1:1. All right. Instead of being together, we was going to be scattered. All right. Let's get James 1:1 real quick. James chapter 1 and verse 1. And it reads, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. Right. So we were scattered abroad, man. All right, these are the curses that came upon us, man. And among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. We're gonna be constantly working. You know how many of your grandmas, how many of your mothers, how many of your fathers just always gotta work, never find rest, never can get off. All right, but the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Just like we was when we was in the plantation, we always had to work. We had a trembling heart. All right, a sorrow of mind. All right, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. Right, our life hung in doubt when we was on the plantation, and our life hang in doubt now, man. You could go out anytime in your car, and a damn Edomite police could just shoot and kill you for no reason, just because he thought you was a threat and get away with it. All right. Verse 67, it says, in the morning thou shalt say, with God it were even, and at even thou shalt say, with God it were morning, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thy eyes which thou shalt see. But, right, we ain't gonna be able to see, man. We're gonna be going through all hell, man. All right, that's what we're going through. So come, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Now, Egypt is not actual Egypt. We get Deuteronomy 6 and 12 to prove that. All right, then beware lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Egypt is the house of bondage. We were in bondage in America, all right, and scattered abroad. All right, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, which means bondage again, and with ships. So we're going to go into bondage and slavery with ships. This is what's going to happen to the Israelites. But the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. All right, so you got to deal with that, man. All right, so look, we were sold into our enemies for slave man and slave woman, and no one's saved us by means redeemed, or no one redeemed us out of that judgment from the Lord. Okay, so come, man. Let me get a couple precepts. Let me get Leviticus chapter 26, verse 17. And it says, I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies, and they that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you, man. All right. So we was just going to go through hell, man. The Most High set his face against us, man. All right. We got destroyed as a people, man. All right. That's what happened to us, man. Let me get another precept. All right, let me get Job chapter 10, verse 20. And it says, are not my days few? Cease then and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little. Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. So Job knew he was going to go through these curses. The land of darkness and the shadow of death, that's America. You read about that in Psalms 23. A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness, man. So, you know, the light is as darkness in this land of America, man. Keeping commandments is darkness here, man. All right. Doing righteousness is as darkness, man. And Job knew what was going to happen to his people, man. All right. He knew the Deuteronomy, the prophecy of Deuteronomy. All right. So, you got to understand that, man. Let me get into some more precepts. Deuteronomy 32 and 26, it says, I said I would scatter them into corners. I would make them the remembrance of them to cease from among men. So our remembrance ceased among men. You read about that in Psalms 83rd chapter, when these nations took crafty counsel against us, man. All right. So these are all the things that happened to us, man. We got multiple. We got the reason why this happens because the Lord was punishing us, man, for us our iniquities. Let me get a precept. Let me get Sirach. That's like, get Sirach chapter 30, verse 1. It says, he that loveth his son causeth him often to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end, right? So the Most High has been causing us often to feel this ride, man. Often to go through this hell, man. Often to do all these things so the Lord can show us that judgment for the things we've done. All right. So come on. You got to understand why we went into slavery, man. The Most High allowed us for us to go into slavery. The Most High allowed for all these things to happen. Let me get Baruch 4 and 6. All right. So the Most High was just correcting us because we're the Most High's son. All right. Israel is his son, even his firstborn. All right. Let me get Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. Let's bring that up. Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. And it reads, "You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies." Unto the enemies, right? So look, we were not sold to the nations to be completely destroyed, but because we moved God to wrath, because we didn't listen to the commandments, man, we were delivered unto these enemies, man. All right. And I believe, I ask any brother to read the whole Baruch 4th chapter. That's a chapter that coincides with Deuteronomy 28. All right, and showing you the redemption from that. Let me get Lamentations chapter 3, verse 21. All right. So all these things came upon us, but it's a light at the end of the tunnel. All right. Let's get Lamentations chapter 3, verse 21. Okay. Well, actually, we get 22. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22. And it says, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not." Right. So it's of the Lord's mercy we are not consumed, man. The Lord had mercy on us, not to just completely destroy us, man. All right, because his compassion for us fails not. He loves us. He's that good father, and we're the firstborn son. All right. So we went through these hells, we went through these curses, we went through these things. We're gonna continue to go through them, but it's redemption at the end when we start serving the Lord our God and keeping the commandments and having the faith and the works along with that. All right. Let's get Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13. You need a light of the tunnel at the end of this, man. Isaiah 5 and 13. "Therefore my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst." Right? So Khan, look, we went into captivity because we don't have any knowledge. We don't know the commandments. All right, we went away from the commandments. All right, the honorable men are famished, and the multitude dried up with thirst. We don't have that knowledge, that wisdom. All right. "Therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, in their glory, in their multitude, in their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it." All right, so hell has enlarged itself upon us, man. All right, because we didn't listen to the laws of the Lord, man. We've forgotten who we were. All right, that's the way the Lord set us up, to show you how powerful it is when we come back. Jeremiah 17 and 4, you all know this. "And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever." All right. Now we know that it's not a literal him burning forever. You got some people say, "Oh, the Lord gonna be angry at us forever." No. All right, you get Psalm chapter 103 and verse 9. It's gonna prove that Lord just makes emphasis on things, man. You get Psalms 103 and 9, right? "He will not always keep chide, neither will he keep his anger forever." So the Most High ain't gonna keep his anger forever. He just showing you how mad he was with the nation of Israel. All right. So you got to understand that. Let me get Psalms chapter 50 and verse 15. Okay. Psalms chapter 50 and verse 15. And it reads, "And call me in the day of trouble, I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me." Right. So look, what you got to understand, the Most High is going to deliver us from this trouble, man. All right. It's a light at the end of the tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, Salaki. All right. It's things the Lord's got a way out for us, man. All right. When we're going through this hell, we're going to continue to go through this hell. And we got even more hell coming, man. Jacob's trouble that's coming to us, man. Something that you never experienced and would never be nothing like that ever in the earth coming for us, man. So, you know, we got to get built up in the spirit during this time, man. All right. Let's get Exodus 4. Yeah, Exodus 4 and 22, I believe. Exodus 4 and 22. "Thus said And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn, man. So our father, he's chastening us, man. All right, because Israel is his son, even his firstborn, man. All right. So we gotta suffer through that judgment, man. You read about that in Proverbs 23 and 13. All right. We gotta suffer the card we dealt, man. You read about that in Baruch the 4th chapter when the Lord says, suffer patiently, man. All right. You get Proverbs 23 and 13, and it reads, withhold not correction from the child. If thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Right? So, look, don't withhold correction from your child, man. And that's what the Most High has been doing. He's been correcting us. How did the Most High correct us? With captivity, destruction, death, showing us the things that come with not keeping the commandments, man. All right? Even sent his favorite son, his only begotten son for the nation of Israel, man, and killed him and murdered him just to show us the example, all right, to rule in righteousness, man, all right, to do things righteous according to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right. Let me get Hosea chapter 5 and verse 15. All right, all these precepts go with Deuteronomy 28. Hosea chapter 5 verse 15. Hosea chapter 5 verse 15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face, and their affliction they will seek me early. Right. So the Most High, you know, the Most High went away from us for a point of time, man. All right. Until we seek his face, and in their affliction, we will seek him early, man, because we're in pain, we're in affliction, in this captivity. So now we're seeking Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right. So you gotta understand that, man. Sirach. Let me get Sirach 17. I believe the 17th chapter. Sirach 17 and 17. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion. Israel is the Lord's portion, man. Whom being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline. That's why we went in captivity. That's why we went in all these curses in Deuteronomy 28. Because the Lord said, look, if you don't listen to me, just like with your father in the world, if you don't listen, I'm gonna whip your tail. If you don't listen, you're not getting nothing. You're not on the phone. You're not doing none of those things. You're sitting in your room and you're doing homework or whatever. You're not doing none of that. That's what the Lord's putting on us, man. All right. Who being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, doth he forsake him? Doth not forsake him. Right, Khan. So listen, man. The Lord got that different type of love. He got a special type of love for us, man. All right. That good father love, man. Let me get another precept in Sirach chapter 7, verse 23. Sirach chapter 7, verse 23, and it reads, hast thou children, instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth. Right? So the Lord has just been instructing us, man. All right. He's instructing us with his commandments. You read Proverbs chapter 6 and 23. Look, we'll bring it out. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 23. For the law is the light. He's giving us that light. We just read that too. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instructions are the way of life, man. So you got to be reproved and get instruction, man. You got to be able to get told that you was wrong to receive instruction of how to do right. So the Lord's just been doing this to us for us to wake up out of this deep sleep, man. For us to keep these commandments, man. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 5. Let me get that real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 5. And it reads, thou shalt also consider in thine heart that a man chasteneth his son, so the Lord thy God chasteneth thee. So the same way a man chasteneth his son is the same way the Lord is chastening Yasha Allah. All right. The same way Yahweh is chastening Yasha Allah, the nation of Israel. All right. That's why we went through these captivities. That's why we go through these curses. All right. That's why we go through all the hell that's been going on, man. All right. So, let me get Song of Solomon chapter 31 and verse 3. Song of Solomon chapter 31 and verse 3. Bear with me. That's definitely not it. Hold up. Yeah, that's not right. think it's the Psalms. This not 31 verse 3. I'll find it later. So like, let's get Proverbs chapter 3 verse 11. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 11, and it reads, "My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction." Right? So we got to understand not to be weary of the Lord's correction. He put us through all this hell for correction, man. We got to be able to get corrected, man. All right, don't get those curses and be like, man, I don't want to serve no God. They could put us all through all that hell. Don't be weary of his correction, man. All right. It says, "My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord." And we're the Lord's son, even his firstborn, man. He's just chastening us with these captivities. He's chastening us with all this hell until we turn back to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua and keep the commandments. All right. Let's get Amos chapter 3 verse 2. Amos chapter 3 verse 2, it says, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore will I punish you for all your iniquities." That's why the Lord's been punishing us, man. He's been constantly punishing us, putting us through hell, because look, he's only known us out of all the families of the earth, man. He's been only dealing with the Israelites, man. All right. So you got to be willing to take that, man, and deal with it. Let me get Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 6. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 6. And it reads, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth everyone whom he receiveth." Right? So you look, if the Lord loves you, he gonna chasten you, man. He gonna do things to you because he has a different type of love. He has a serious love for Yasha Allah, man. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. So we gotta endure that chastening. We can't just be weary of that chastening, just be like, man, I'm not dealing with the Lord, man. The Lord put us through slavery. The Lord put us through all that. I don't want to deal with the Lord no more. All right? That's how some of our people is. "For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not?" All right? So what father, what son is he that Yahweh doesn't chasten, man? What father you know they don't care about you enough to chasten you? And your father ain't telling you that to do the right things, that chasten you when you do the wrong things. Your father don't care about you. All right, that's what this verse 8 gonna say. "But if you be without chastisement, all the captivity, all the hell we've been through, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons." So if you don't have if you're not being chastised, the Most High not dealing with you, man. All right. So you gotta thank the Lord that he just didn't just destroy us and be done with us, but he's chastised us. He's held us over, man. All right. He's punished us, man. All right, a punishment we deserve. So Khan, get a couple more precepts. Couple more precepts. This is 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 46. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with him and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near. Yet if they shall bethink themselves, look, so the Most High, he'll deliver you to the enemy for the sins we did against him, man. All right, but listen to this. Yet if they shall bethink themselves, if we bethink ourselves, and the land whither they were carried captives, and repent and make supplication unto thee, and the land of them that carried them captive, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul, and the land of their enemies which led them away captives, and pray unto thee toward their land which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the name, in the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou their prayer in their supplication, in heaven thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. For they be thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest forth out of Egypt from the midst of the furnace of iron. Right, so what you gotta understand, man. The Most High, we gotta bethink ourselves, man. All right, and understand why we went into captivity. You read that in verse 46, man. All right. So we got to bethink ourselves. We got to, wake up out of our deep sleep. All right. So we got to keep these commandments and ask for forgiveness and repent for the things we've done. All right. That's the light at the end of the tunnel. With the Deuteronomy 28, all the curses we went through, man. Let me get 2nd Ezra chapter 1 and verse 5, and it says, "Go thy way and show my people their sinful deeds and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods. Am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me unto wrath and despised my counsels. Pull thou off the hair of thy head and cast all evil upon them, for they have not been obedient unto my law, but it is a rebellious people." So we haven't been obedient, we've been a rebellious people. All right. "How long shall I forbear them unto who I have done so much good?" The Lord has done so much good for us. Why? Because he loves us. "Many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down. All the nations have I destroyed before them, and in the east I have scattered the people into 2 provinces, even of Tyrus and Zidon, and have slain all their enemies. Speak thou therefore unto them, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I led you through the sea in the beginning, gave you a large and safe passage. I gave you Moses for a leader and Aaron for a priest." These are all the things the Most High did for us, man. "I gave you light in a pillar of fire, and great wonders have I done among you. Yet have you forgotten me, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord Almighty, thus saith the Almighty Yahweh, the quails were as a token for you. I gave you tents for your safeguard. Nevertheless, you murmured there, and triumphed not in my name for the destruction of your enemies, but ever to this day do ye yet murmur, right? Where are the benefits that I have done for you? When you were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did you not cry unto me? When we was hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, the Most High gave us food and water. All right. Saying, why hast thou brought us into the wilderness to kill us? It has been better been better for us to have served the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness, right? You got people that today they think it's been better for them to serve the white man than to walk righteously, to keep the commandments and to trust in the Lord. All right. Then had I pity upon your mornings and gave you manna to eat. So ye did eat angels' bread. Our people ate angels' bread. When you were thirsty, did not I cleave the rock and waters flowed to your field? Waters flowed out of the rock for us. For the heat I covered you with leaves of the trees. These are all the things the Lord has done for us. Okay, of course the Lord has cursed us, man, but he's done so much things for us, even through these curses, man. All right? All the things he's done for us before he even cursed us. All right? I divided amongst you a fruitful land. I cast out the Canaanites, the Perizzites, and the Philistines before you. What shall I yet do more unto you, saith the Lord? All right, so what else can the Lord do for us, man? All right? He can't do any more for us. He's done so much for us already, man. All right? Yes, the Lord's cursed us, but he's been doing all type of blessings for us throughout this thing, man. Then you wake up to the truth. Then you get this knowledge and understanding. Then you wake up to who you are. That's a blessing within itself, man. All right? So we got to understand the things the Lord has done for us. But you got people that, the curses, they just kill them and they'll be done with. All right? So we got to understand, these curses, they're really important to bring out to our people so they can familiarize themselves with the Bible. Let me see. I'll bring out probably one more precept. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 29. Because we got to head out to camp, Lord willing. This is Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 9. It says, For they prophesied falsely unto you in my... Well, actually, I started 10. It's like it. For thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you and causing you to return to this place. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end, man. So the Lord thinks thoughts of peace towards us, man. Even though he's put us through hell, the Lord thinks thoughts of peace towards us and to give us an expected end, man, for us to get this glorious kingdom, man, for us to be beamed up on those chariots, man. All right? Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you, right? And ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart, all your mind, right? And I will be found of you, saith the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity, man. The Lord's going to turn away this captivity. And I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive, man. So we're going back to Zion, all right? But all of these curses that came upon us is coming back upon these other nations, man. Everything they've done, they're going to have to eat of these curses in Deuteronomy, 28th chapter, man. All right, let's get that real quick. Obadiah, verse 1. I mean, Obadiah, verse 15, I believe. Let me get to it. Obadiah, verse 15, and it reads, For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So as they have done, it's going to be done unto them, man. Every single thing they have done is going to come back on them. They're going to have to get a part of this, man. All right? They're going to have to taste of all these curses that we were under, man. All right? Specifically these Edomites, man. And these other nations going to be dealt with too. Best believe. All right? But this is Daniel chapter 7, verse 27. It's going to be the last precept I bring out through the Spirit. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Just like we was just reading the first part of Deuteronomy 28th chapter. All right, we're gonna have the dominion. All right, if it be the Lord will, and all these other nations are gonna obey us, man. All right, they're gonna be under us, man. All right, the table's gonna be turned, man. All right, it's gonna be a shift. All right. That's what's coming. You can best believe it. You can count it for a fact. All right. So Con. What time it is? 5:30. I'm gonna bring out Psalms 81 again before I leave. Then we're gonna go ahead and get it done with. This is Psalms chapter 81. It's lucky. All right, this is Psalm chapter 81 and verse 10. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up into their own hearts, and they walked into their own counsels. Verse 13, this is the key. All right. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. I should soon have subdued their enemies and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever. He should have fed them with the finest of wheat, and the honey out of the rock should I have satisfied them, man. So look, if we would have listened to the Lord, we would have only had Deuteronomy 28 through 14. All right, but we're gonna all have that. We're gonna have that. All right, but it's work that goes into that, man. All right, we got to walk righteously. We got to keep the commandments, have the faith in the works, and wait upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to come deliver us out of this place of hell and torment, man. But hopefully, that was a good, a nice breakdown for the brother that came and asked that for the Deuteronomy 28th chapter breakdown. Any questions about it? And we had to go to camp, so I really wanted to get into a deeper one, but we could have went way longer, but got to get to camp. So any other questions, about any of the precepts or any of the verses in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, brother, definitely hit me up. We're finna go ahead and head out through the spirit of the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Hopefully, brothers and sisters was edified. Call halayim abanawa Yahweh Shem Mashiach Momalak Yahweh Shabarakatam. Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Hopefully brothers took notes and understood things, and maybe hopefully learned a little bit more about Deuteronomy 28 chapter, except Deuteronomy 28, 15, and 68, 46 through 54. All right. And notice how you got the blessings and the curses, man. And it looks how contrary to the things that we have, that the state we're in now. all right, and see the history of your people and how we ended up here, man. All right, how we ended up in this situation, in this captivity. All right. So shalom, yashala, shalom, all the brothers that tuned in. Like I said, hopefully brothers and sisters was edified, Akim and Akwav. Shalom, Yasha Allah, and Kwam Yasha Allah.